Did. Haha. Okay. Hey, gentlemen, this is your journey with Dr. D here to encourage, to motivate, to inspire. Helping you get beyond your first move and creating a better mindset today. Creating a better mindset today. If you find any value in this content, how about you help me help you? So we can help others by clicking subscribe, give me a thumbs up, commenting, and sharing. Because when you share and you comment, what you do is you organically help and build with me and grow with me, and you help me make a better tomorrow today. That's all we're trying to do, make a better tomorrow today. But tonight, you know what? Oh man, I thought I had it. I do get it. Tonight, you know what it is? Tonight is the Heroes Update of Okay. I'm coming. It's a Heroes Update of What Are You Hiding Behind the Mask? It's an oldie, but it's a goodie. I just rehash it and put it out because I think it's very prevalent and it's very important amongst this time. And if I'm just running my chops and can nobody hear me, let me know. I see my green is on, so I think I can be heard. So I just need somebody to comment back. What I'm going to do, where I start off right now, I'm gonna copy my link over. Show. Here we go. Put it over in my chat section. So when it's time for the Q&A section, nobody needs to say. You can just take yourself in the back room and just wait till I do Q&A, and then we can be about our business and start the discussion. If they give me 2 cents, you may actually make a nickel back. Come talk to me, somebody. All right. Okay. Well, tonight I'm doing a recap. And first off, the recap is what are you hiding behind the mask? And now, really, it's about identity. I started out the term about identity, and the whole feature video is about identity. It's about mask. You know, mask is a bad rap. We all wear them. When you go to work, you put on a certain mask. When you go to church, you put on a mask. When you deal in relationships, you put on a mask. When you're on the ball field, you put on a mask. Because you have to shift on and shift off. Sometimes we actually differentiate our environments with our personalities, and we become different in light of the event that we're playing, or the event that we're part of, or even in the relationship, because a lot of things we're doing, we do for others. We do for ourselves, but we do for others. For instance, when you're on a football field, you have to pull aggressive side. You have to be camaraderie. You have to speak a certain type of language. You don't have to use expletives. You don't have to get that out of character. You see, the character is always in you. I'm one to believe that we all have a monster. We all have a dog in us. We all have a monster. We all have a beast in us. We just keep them downstairs. It's all about having control over the fire that's inside of you. If you can control the fire inside of you, then, you're a dangerous brother. Because it's the person that has no control, that's erratic and sporadic. That's a hazard to society, so to speak. But the person who has the beast in the basement and is tamed and controlled knows how to methodically pull it out and point it in a direction it needs to go, when it's needed to go, when it needs to be directed to go a specific location, a specific direction. When you're in a football field, you need to pull out aggression. But when you're in church, you don't put out the same type of aggression. I mean, you don't you don't run up to the pulpit and give a thumb and give a chest bump to the pastor, do you? Yeah, that's a good word. Now, I've seen it happen. Not do the chest bumps, but I've seen it happen where you got a good word, and I've done it before. That's a good word. That's a good path. That's a good word, because everybody needs that response makes a person feel that the message actually is beneficial, that their study is not in vain, and that they're doing their job. And so that type of encouragement, certainly from man to man, is like, yeah, my study is not in vain, my work is not in vain. However, but there is a protocol in everything. So you don't run up on the stage and just do a chest bump. You pass, you may get halted by security. They have security these days because people will run up in churches and they don't have all the best. They don't have the best intentions in mind. They don't have the best intentions in mind at all. That's right. No. They don't. Some people, they shoot, they rob. Yeah, they do all the type of erratic, just crazy stuff, and they don't honor the house of God. And that's why they have security ministries at this time, because everybody ain't holy. Even some of the holy people ain't holy. Go figure. So you don't do it's protocols in certain positions where it's certain positions where areas that you do what needs to be done in where you are. I'm getting kind of mixed up, but you know what I'm saying. Everything has a position. Everything has a place. You don't go up singing loud at a monastery, at a silent with a whole bunch of monks. You don't go up there screaming, because it's a protocol. It's a protocol, and like I said, you don't go to your job. Screaming when everybody's on the telephone. It's a call center, and you scream and you holler because you're really pumped up because you made a sale. And it's not the average, it's not the norm, because we all have an instruction manual. All right, so when I talked about the different masks that we wear, because we do wear different masks, and I talked about different types of masks. I said that sometimes you have a opaque mask, you have a mask that gives you a little vision. Sometimes you let people see a little bit of you, so just a little bit. But then you have some people let people see one side of them, and then you have some people. You have some masks that allow you to see everybody to see all of you. So you pick and choose which mask you put on. See, but the scary thing is the person that doesn't realize they have a mask on. That's the thing. If you don't realize you have a mask on, then you walk in a delusion. You think it's an illusion, but you walk in delusional, because you don't know that it's not a place that you do certain things. Because a lot of people say, well, I'm just being real. You being really fired, really stupid. You be really fired. Or you would be really put out. Everybody can't do a Will Smith and get away with it. Everybody can't do a Will Smith and get away with it. No. All right. So pretty much that's my recap. My recap of the video, and my update is I may continue this thing on identity, or I'm still trying to discover. I'm just trying to bring up a topic that's very beneficial, that's beneficial to the masses, or just in line of emotional well-being, because sometimes people, even with identity, a person doesn't control their emotion, because a lot of times they don't know who they are. They can't control. They think they're somebody else. Sometimes people come in the mesh with what they see on television, or the videos, or the music, musician, the icon They want to become like that person, but generally they don't know who they are. The thing is about who are you? We trying to become everybody else but ourselves. I believe that we all have a purpose, we have a specific destination, and we can have an outline, but the outline doesn't fill in the darkness. It doesn't fill in the colors. The colors that we're trying to fill in come from the inside. I believe God places the coloring book of our life inside of us, but we don't dig deep enough. We don't think about what we're thinking about, and we don't process the thoughts that come through. So the goal is to process the thoughts that come through and to realize the mask that you put on and realize when you need to take them off and realize when you're being honest or dishonest. You always want to be honest in wherever mask you put on, but you need to know the appropriate time to put it on. All right, so that is my recap. So now I told you my update, and now I'm putting my Q&A. I copy it. I'm gonna copy and paste the links in the it's in the stream, so it's in the chat. So we're gonna wait for the Q&A. All right, Q&A. Do we have a comment? Mm-mm. Do you have any comments? So if you have any comments, I'll go to the menu and I'll start reading them out and responding to them. All right. Oh, didn't see you there. All right. Okay, who is this now? That's Latoya. Decline. Can't talk. 1 second. All right. Yeah, one. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Eureka. Am I choppy? Or am I fluid?
You fluid.
Delayed but not denied. Delayed but not denied. All right. What's up, Tito?
Just chilling. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. When I woke up this morning, I was light skinned.
You been out in the sun then, huh?
Yep. All right, that's all. Renee's coming on. All right.
Renee, how you doing?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Good evening. All right, let me see if I can do something. I ain't messing up nothing. Yes! Eureka! I think I found something. Okay. Hey, check it out. So, who saw the video? Okay. Who remember the video? Oh, you ain't seen it before. You seen it before?
You know about the video about the mask, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You remember seeing it before?
Before today?
Peter,
Before
do you
today.
remember it?
Huh?
I'm good. I modified it.
Oh, no, I don't remember. I mean, I saw it today, but I don't remember seeing it
Okay.
before.
So, okay. What's your feedback? Boy, it's hot. Give me some juice.
My feedback is that I feel like I'm too old to wear a mask these days. It's it's like been there, done that, and it's like it takes too much energy to wear a mask because you can never just be who you are. And what I learned is I have to be me, and if I don't be me, I would never be happy because I'm always being who someone being somebody that everybody else want me to be.
Right. Okay, Renee.
Yes, I agree. I think there's a lot of power in being at peace with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you're not improving, right? I mean, we're always becoming more and more like God, through Christ. But the foundation is leveled. It's a position of honesty when you can accept yourself with the understanding you're becoming better, but you accept yourself where you are and be at peace with it. You know?
Right. Tito, do you talk to your wife the same way you talk to your daughter?
With respect, when it comes to respect, yes.
No, same tone.
It's just I may use different words
Right.
because they're at different levels of understanding.
Right. So when I agree with, it's too much work to be fake, but I think that we all still use a mask to adjust, meaning that I'm saying the same words to my daughter as I'm saying to my wife, but I have to adjust it so she can receive it. And I may have to be, maybe I have to be able to say it a little softer. Like your boys, you have to put the mask on to a man to a son. You can't talk to your son like you talk to your daughter. Or you could say, I'm like I am every way, and I say the same thing. But if you say the same thing, how would it be received? Unless you don't care.
Yeah, it can be received differently.
Right, right. And I do agree with the part, and that's being, and mostly is I think the adjustment of mass for the most part is more is given to ones you care about.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't care about them. You kind of get it raw and unfiltered.
Well, I think I disagree to an extent because I think the
Okay.
ones I care about is the most important to see me without the mask because they know who they have, who they dealing with, and being honest with them. I just found throughout time that the more open and honest I'm being with them, the more open and honest and better altogether because I don't um because if I'm being me, I'm consistently being
Right.
who I am. But if I'm trying to play a role or be who people want me to be, I'm always fall short because I can't fill a role. I can only act for so long. That's like saying Superman. If Superman is not always Superman. You know what I mean? Sometimes he
Right.
had to be Clark Kent. If he always had to be Superman, he wouldn't get anywhere. You know what I mean? He wouldn't.
Yep.
But you have to be who you are. And at times I know we change, but we still being who we are. When we react to things, we're gonna react like who we are. But when we faking, like like you got some guys, they try to be all right, try to be all macho, but something happens, they fold.
First one to run.
Yeah. So, but if you being who you are, you don't, you gonna give the response of what you would normally do, or what you're not trying to fake the funk. To If you're nice, you're gonna be nice. People piss you off, yeah, you're gonna what you call it, but you still that nice person. You just responded to a situation. But if you playing nice, you know what I mean? You can kind of read when somebody is fake. I'm not the kind of individual that I deal with fake people. I if I feel like somebody is trying to be fake or trying to make me think something of them, your best out is for myself. I'm speaking for myself. Is to be honest with me. I can. I know none of us are perfect. So if you honest with me, I respect that more than you trying to make me think who you not. Because at the end of the day, we can't have a relationship if you're not being honest. How we gonna say we got a relationship or we have a friendship, but you can't even be honest with me who you are, what you about? Because our friendship was based off of lies at that point. That's how I feel about it. That's why, for myself, when I started off and said that it's hard, it's too much energy to put on a mask. I would be a sad person if I wore a mask and live up to every mask that everyone that want me to be. And I can't. Sometimes I have my good days. Sometimes I have my bad days.
But you won't complain.
Right. But if I got a mask on, you always think I'm happy. And then at one time that I don't feel like wearing that mask, you be like, oh, where this monster come from? You know what I mean? Because I done built it up so long and held back so long that, it's kind of like the child that get bullied. They trying to be that child that's don't want to be trying to be nice, and then one day they snap.
Is it well? Would that be more somewhat like they said Moses is called the meekest man that ever lived because he had controlled authority, he had controlled power. Mm-hmm. I think it's thinking about having restraint versus being fake, and also if you look at different platforms, not platforms for as far as different locations. If somebody, you walk in your house, you have one persona. Mm-hmm. You're in Afghanistan, you're not acting the same. You have a different persona. Would you agree or disagree?
I would say I'm the same person.
Right.
I understand what you're saying. And you
kind of have to.
Is different because I'm performing a different task at that time. Because
that's mm-hmm.
Because I think it's depending on the culture. I would say it's kind of hard to kind of be in a defensive posture and you sitting there laughing or you sitting there smiling all the time. People be like, are they serious?
Right.
So for myself and for majority of the Marines, we keep more of a stony face, whether it's happy or sad. When we forward, I guess you can say that is a type of mask, so you don't see what's going on the inside. But I think that's different when you're performing a job, because if I was a doctor, I can't show the patient, an emergency situation, the patient family that, hey, I'm concerned that this person may not make it. I gotta have a face on that says, hey, it's gonna be all right. It's under control.
Right. Would you say that a part of right is a you still the same person? I just
Right.
believe that we, based on the culture, the role that we put our stuff in, we have to adjust to a certain extent. We still the same person. We
I
adjust
agree
to
with you.
the task
I agree
the
with you.
task at hand. Meaning that I believe, and you correct me if I'm wrong, as far as one of the biggest issues in military would be debriefing. If you spend like 8 tours, 8 tours of combat, and then it's over, and then you come back home, you're more accustomed with the mask of being at war. So if you hear a sound and you're pretty much always on alert, you're gonna have to adjust so everybody ain't scared of you. And so you got to learn how to all the man. For 18 years, all you know is one type of man.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, it was different, but you learned that, and that's what you put on because you're trying to live. But now you're at home where it's supposed to be comfortable, and you hear something, and you're holding your little girl, and you. So it's about getting adjusting. It like I said, I think it's mostly everything is internal work because you still have to adjust. It's still you inside, but you have to. But you have different environments, different culture. I told my son today, I said, listen, if you learn any other lesson from me, I want you to be aware. I think that's the biggest lesson that a lot of men don't get. I believe God shared with me some while I went through a situation. He said, listen, you're running back. Your eyes always need to be on the swivel. Even when you don't think nobody's coming,
Yeah.
always be aware. To be the head of the house, you always got to be aware. Even in times of peace, you always have to be aware. Even in laughter, you always have to be aware. Amongst friends, you always have to be aware. Godfather said, he said, hold your friends. He said, he said, hold your enemies close. Hold your friends close, but your enemies close. You have to be aware. You don't know everybody's intention. You don't know their
Right.
motives. You may
Right.
think you know until they disappoint you. Like I said, I'm doing a video about you keep hope alive, but don't put a lot of investment in the expectation. Because the expectations that will let you down. And she said, man, I never thought he'd do that. Man, I never thought. I never thought she said she loved me, she'd never leave me. I thought he's my boy. Why he stabbed me in the back? God is the only thing consistent. Men are inconsistent. We have flaws. Expected, unexpected. And sometimes you won't. You can be caught. But I think if you're more aware, and that's all under being aware. I'm pretty open. And
Mm-hmm.
so therefore, God's allowed me to be hurt a lot. So I know how to accommodate to be hurt. And I can compartmentalize. It's okay. They didn't mean it. I don't know their background. They hurt it. Okay. I don't throw them away. I just realized that that person can be in that area.
Yeah.
I don't throw everybody because sometimes people do you wrong. Some people just throw them away. They be throwing everybody away.
Well, yeah, yeah. I can. You know what? This is one thing I do. Everybody don't have to agree, and agree or disagree. It doesn't matter. For myself, I
Mm-hmm.
always try to, when something happened or someone does something to me, I try to figure out why. I want to know why. I even try to have a conversation, try to get to the bottom of it. And I always seek for that understanding. And depending on the understanding I come up with, I decide whether I'm gonna continue to deal with you, or I'm gonna cut you off.
Right.
And because sometimes we can have misunderstandings and we take them a certain way, and then when we start having a conversation about it with with the individual, they may not even realize that they said or did what they did and it offended you. So
That's
I
right.
have learned over time to try to get to the bottom of it and say, hey, yo, what was up with that? And it might be independent of how they respond and what they answer is, I can tell if they genuine or they just trying to cover it up. That's what my decision would be based off of. If they, if they was if if they didn't know, if I felt like they honestly didn't know, they offended me, I may let them stick around me a little while longer. And then sometimes you may have known you offended me, and I might know you that, and I said something to you about it, in your response, and you was honest with me. I will keep you around. Just it all depends on what it is. I prefer a person gonna. If you're a snake, I'd rather for you to show me you're a snake, and now I know what I'm dealing with. If you if you if you're a bird, let me know you're a bird. You show me that you're a bird, and I know how to deal with you. But if you constantly lying and you're not afraid to take off your mask to let me know who you are, I don't know how to deal with you. And that's where I think a lot of the problems come in at, is people sometimes are afraid to be who they are, thinking that people gonna judge them by, hey, maybe they shortfalls or how cocky they can be. Because sometimes being overconfidence can be a problem. And at the end of the day, none of us are perfect, and someone always going to have something to say.
Right.
To me, it's not a such thing as a perfect response or a perfect, a perfect answer, because it depends on the individuals. It depends on the situation, on how you gonna perceive what happened and things. It's just like leadership. When you in a role of leadership, you have to base your decision off the information that you have. You're gonna have some people that's happy with the way you decide to do things, and you're gonna have people that's upset and just don't agree. But you had to make the best decision off the information you had to move forward. And with your abilities, making that decision off the information you have and your ability dealing with your understanding of that situation.
Right.
And
Renee, is that your background music? Is background?
What background?
I hear. You hear, Tito?
yeah, I kind of hear it.
Do you still hear it now?
No.
No.
Oh,
What's your
I thought the dog's fighting.
no, it was a fan.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. See, my daughter is in this office with me, and she got that's her phone. Her phone on low, watching YouTube. But that wasn't the noise I was hearing.
No.
Yeah,
That's
it was
now
like
he's zombies like any.
teaching.
It was
What's
a,
that?
it was a fan.
It wasn't you cooking meth on the stove.
No, not upstairs. There's no stove up here. There's just a room. See?
He said, Tito, he said not upstairs.
So he probably do everything downstairs.
There's no
She's not
stove.
upstairs.
Yeah, look, The dog
Well,
also look at him. He trying to eat his own behind.
yeah. At least the dog clean himself.
Hey Renee, you done gave your dog some of that wacky tobacco.
No, let's see.
Yeah, he looked like he out of it. He on that stuff hard.
Yeah, he out.
He laid out.
Yeah,
I turned the fan off. Now I'm hot. But go ahead.
me too. Yeah, me too. So okay, so Renee, what do you think about the video? What's your take?
No, I think that there's a difference between somebody having on a mask and someone just has different aspects of their personality. Like for example, I actually believe Clark Kent and Superman are both authentic. They're just different aspects of the same person. So Superman is this. He really is, because he grew up on a farm in Kansas, which in this country is the symbol of a nice guy. So he really is a nice guy. But just depending on the situation, he might allow different parts of himself, to come out, as opposed to someone who is pretending or putting on an act. That's different. That's not who they really are. Like a lot of these young guys who try to act like thugs or gangs. Well, they're really not thugs. They're not gangsters or thugs. They see something on a music video, and they're trying to be like it, when that's not actually who they are.
Yeah.
Or like Dave Chappelle said, he was joking, but maybe it did happen. He said his wife called him, well, I'm going to say the clean version. He said his wife called him a vagina in front of dinner guests. And he said, I started to get angry, but then I remembered, well, yeah, she's right. I am a vagina. So the idea is, if you're a dork, be at peace with being a dork. If you're a nerd, be a nerd. Don't be a gangster. You don't have to. So that's inauthentic. But at the same token, the nerd guy might get in a fight and whoop somebody. You see what I'm saying? He's being his authentic self. It's just that, you know what I mean? He's being himself. It's just that depending on the situation. So the dork might rise up just as much and put hands on somebody, still being a nice guy, as opposed to the guy who he's pretending to be a thug and a gangster. Then he meets a real thug and a gangster, and then he realizes, oh, okay,
I ain't no thug and gangster.
Take it easy. I apologize. I'm sorry. I didn't. Hey, cool. I don't want any trouble.
Mm-hmm.
That's different. So I think you're both kind of saying the same thing.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
like
not
the way
like
you put that.
uh
I like the way you put that. I think we all saying the same thing. We just coming from different angles, using different ways of explaining things. And take my cell phone. 30 more minutes. But I think we all pretty much are saying the same thing. You still being real with yourself or who you are. It just depends on the situation, on how you respond and what you got to be. So I think we all in agreement on that portion.
And mask, right? I believe we all have a mask. Mean a certain aspect of our personality that comes out, whether it's triggered or whether it's warranted. It's not I'm not gonna keep on looking at Disney with my family and somebody trying to kick in my door.
Right.
Yeah.
But see, that's not really. Maybe it is. That's not really a mask.
I'm telling you that.
That's a different face. That's the same
mask.
Right. A mask to me
face.
Has the connotation of putting. Yeah, but the mask is
I'm saying
putting on something that's fake, as opposed to.
No. I'm just saying that you put on You put on different persona. It's metaphorical now.
Oh, okay.
You put on persona.
Are you putting it on, or are you letting out a different persona? It's really you. You're just letting it out, depending on the situation.
Well, letting out seems more of aggression to me. I don't have to let out a nice guy if I'm already a nice guy. I may have to adjust my face.
Right.
But if I'm letting out the warrior. I don't have to let out the nice person. I just smile.
You,
I mean,
you
so it's
smile
like,
as you whooping his behind, he or she
that's
behind.
right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. So
That's very
I'm not.
They're warriors like that. They'll whip you with a smile on their face, like, I'm sorry I have to do this, as opposed to the thug or the who's like,
But
I hate you, I'll kill you.
but I don't think they're letting out anything. They're just adjusting to the situation at hand. I think we all got a beast in the basement. It's just we know how to tame them. We let them out when it needs to come. We lock the door when it needs to be locked.
I'm nice through and
We all
through.
got it.
Ain't no beast in my basement.
What's that?
I'm nice through and through. Ain't no beast in my basement.
Yeah, we see your beast. They
No, I'm just
ain't stopping nobody.
That's right.
They laid out.
Ain't no beast.
Ain't stopping nobody.
Yeah.
You know a piece of meat. Not even a big piece. You know a big piece of meat.
Well, on that note, dogs are a good alarm system. They shouldn't do anything.
Yeah, that just triggered my foot.
Huh?
that just triggered my
Right.
foot.
Right. I don't believe dogs should handle. All a dog does is alert you that there is something. I don't care. A dog never should have to make the decision whether to deal with a situation. You deal with it. All you need is a dog's alarm system. Then
That dog.
you,
Okay.
Smith, Wesson, and Beretta deal with the situation. All the dog does is let you know, hey, there's somebody coming up the steps. You know.
The
But
doggy
anyway,
bark
that's a side
when
Huh?
squirrels run across the front.
Yeah, then you check it out. So it's just a squirrel, and you keep it moving.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm a strong advocate being a dog owner for so long. I'm a strong advocate that a domesticated dog should never hurt, kill, or maim another living creature. That's not what they're there for. And I've had people tell me, "Oh, Renee, I need a dog to protect." No, that's ridiculous. You don't want a dog making a decision like that. That's a liability issue. The dog, if you have dog, that's why you have these pit bulls out here that kill people's kids. No, you don't want that. You just want the dog to let you. Don't make the decision. You let me know there's something happening. I'll assess it and I'll deal with it. You see what I'm saying?
What
But
you
anyway,
think? You know?
that's a side note. That's
With the
but
dog,
Yeah.
I'm not a dog owner. My oldest daughter have a dog, and he's a I think he's a Yorkie. So he is a Yorkie. Now my youngest daughter said, yeah, he is a Yorkie. And he bark loud, but he ain't worth nothing because you stump your feet, you might have feces on the floor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's 10 to 80 yards. You put it right there. Pop! Touchdown! That's what you call a drop kick.
There was no animals hurt during this broadcast.
Okay, so now, like I said before, okay, we digress. All right, man. All right. We digress. Like I said, that I don't think I'm not saying anybody has multiple personality disorder, but it's shift. I think your brain has capacity to divide itself. And some people divide and don't come back. They separate and they don't remember the next situation. And just like when you're growing up, you become like we have people that we like you playing ball, baseball, basketball, football. Yes, sure, you want to run like somebody, you want to be like somebody, but you know that's not you. You just want the technique,
Right.
and you want the technique, and kind of you want to kind of gravitate to that persona of the excellence that person. That's the reason a lot of athletes, you want to shoot like Mike, or run like Bo Jackson, you really want you want the end result,
Right.
and
You
you're
want
hoping
the
that
results. Yeah.
you're hoping that the practice you put in gets there.
Right.
But some kids don't. They just want to get there and not put the practice in because they see it on television. I can do it. No, but they don't put the 1,000 shots in. They don't run the moves outside of practice. They don't do that. I mean, I think but like you said, I think we all said the same thing. I don't say that masks, you put on different masks and become fake. That's just too much work.
Right.
Really, I agree with you. That's just too much work. But I believe that we have to understand our situation, where we are. It's all about being aware. Where we are, who we talking to, and what does it matter for the most part. Being cognizant of the situation at hand. And if you're cognizant of the situation at hand and who we talk about and what it's about, then you say, okay, I can't talk that casual. This is not my boy. But you still can talk casual, but not when you're in front of 100,000 people that you're presenting. You can if that's the way you do it, because Steve Harvey talks casual,
Right.
but that's his brand. That's his brand. You probably talk the same regular. I mean, that's his brand. But some people, they can be real lax, and then when lights come on, they shift. It's not being phony. It's adjusting to the environment and knowing what you're doing and what you're doing it for. No, yes, I think you need to understand. Go ahead.
Yeah. Like you might be built like Mike Tyson, but that doesn't mean you'll necessarily fight like him. Because you have to have a certain emotional temperament to be an inside fighter like that. So, like I think you're right. Some people, they want the end result, but the pathway there for them may not be the same. So I think there's a lot of peace. There's a lot of peace and victory at, like Tito said, of just being yourself, approaching it your way. Because you can be a shorter fighter and still be fight on the outside, just that you're gonna have you have to have a lot better defense.
Right.
Whereas typically, but some people don't have the temperament, Mike Tyson had Bruce Lee would say the emotional content to be on the inside and hit you like, like like rob them. But some people don't have that temperament, They're better on the outside coming. So I agree. So there's a different aspects of your personality than you just being something or someone that you're not.
Yeah, and I think what's happening with a lot of young kids is not about being it's being too much of something else and not knowing who you are.
Right. Yeah.
So it's all about identity. Who are you? Whose are you? And who are you?
Exactly.
I agree.
Instead, kids walk out the street and say, I'm John Jones, the character I play on Grand Theft Auto.
Right.
And because I know we bad because we got a high score and we kill people every week.
Right.
And so I connect with John Jones, my avatar on Grand Theft Auto. I've never played it. I'm just throwing names out. But because me and my crew, I win every time, and I get because I know that you can buy other items. Like on Call of Duty, you can buy items and backpacks, and you buy stuff. And so you build your avatar, your virtual avatar, and I believe you can easily become lost in that virtual world. And then when you cut it off, your mind doesn't cut off. I think if you spend more time there than out here, then your mind gravitates and say, that's me. So what do I do 8 hours a day? I kill. So John Jones kills. So that's my purpose. Because John Jones is high scorer. He wins. All he does is win, win.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to win, I need to get my AK, I need to get my guns, and kill. And I know I said on video, not this video, but video before that I know somebody told me this. He said on Grand Theft Auto, you get we talked about last week, I think. You get points for beating up old women. Yeah,
That's awful.
shooting cops and beating up. I'm so therefore, and you get praised by your peers. Why do a lot of kids do a lot of different things?
Mm-hmm.
And so either I'm gonna be famous or I'm gonna be infamous. But one thing they will not be is ignored. They're gonna be famous or infamous, but nobody wants to be ignored. I went out with a bang. I mean, it's a pun there, but it's real. I kill people, then I kill myself. But people know my name. Like not serial killers. It's just they do things because they want the accolade. They want people to keep on talking about it. They want to live forever in people's mouths. The fear. Even if they did, they want that to be the epitaph or the eulogy.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to be ignored. A lot of times you can ignore a child and then stop it. Yeah, but that's why they get tired. They just want your attention. And some kids don't care about if they get it beaten or not. If they get it beaten, they still get your attention.
Mm-hmm.
If they get a reward, they get your attention. But if they get ignored, they ain't get no attention.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they get tired. Not all kids. Every child's different now. Every child's different. I mean, my daughter used to, when she was like 2 years old, she used to scream and cry in a high chair. She would scream in the chair. And I said, that's the wrong key. Ah! She screamed, ah! 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 She said, why your eyes watering? You got no water on your face? Ah! I'm just doing the exact same thing she's doing. Ah! Ah! After a while, she get tired. Because they wasn't messing with me. I said, your key is wrong. Yeah, I kept on singing with it. It's like, he's supposed to pick me up. He's supposed to be screaming with me. He got it all wrong. And then after a while, I just leave and start crying by myself. You always work, but sometimes a kid. I wasn't letting the kids. The more she screams, she'll get tired. She'll get tired. Yeah. Yeah. It's been how much you can take. How much you take. Yeah. Yes, I think a lot of kids go back to my point is that identity is not. Nobody's nurturing an identity. Nobody's helping develop one.
Well,
But the marketers are.
well, there's a passage in the Bible that says the glory of the children are their fathers. And if you remember, Pastor Lockett years ago once said that glory was the visible manifestation of the invisible nature of something.
Yeah.
So I think when you study that passage, the deeper meaning is that children's identities are brought out and are established actually more by their fathers, is what the Bible is saying. So the invisible nature, and we, in our culture in particular, we have a deficit of fathers.
That's
So
my
there are a
point.
lot of kids that don't know who they are. So they gravitate towards whatever will give them some type of identity. But fathers, I think, are the ones that can bring balance to kids. So the little nerd kid that's trying to be all thuggish, sometimes the father's like, "Oh boy, sit down. That's not you. No, you're not. No, just be a nerd." But they want to, like you said, they want the attention. So they'll do whatever. So I think that's a big issue in our culture. We have a lack. I think now they're saying 40% of the homes in the United States are single parent homes. I think is what they're saying now.
And that's the issue.
Huh?
And that's the issue.
Yeah, it's a huge issue. It's a huge issue.
Yeah, I think a lot of times a lot of women say I can raise them.
Mm.
All I want is a baby. and then they raise a monster.
Yeah.
Well,
84% I think the men that are incarcerated, I think, come from single parent homes. So you can raise them. The issue is he's not doing anything to you, the mother. He's terrorizing everybody else. You, his mother, are fine. He's not
well,
robbing you or doing nothing to you. It's
this is
everybody else in the village that's being terrorized. So you
this
good.
this is
These gang friends ain't doing nothing to their own moms. They're just doing it to everybody else, you know.
this is my input. Yes, a woman can raise a man can raise a woman. The problem is we raise them to our ideal of that sex, not actually. Because men, it's like, I know my daughters need their mother. And because I'm not gonna nurture my daughter like my wife would nurture it.
Right.
My tone is even different than my wife. I'm not gonna have that same understanding with my daughters
Wanna move my feet,
because we're
wanna drink my
wired.
wine. Wanna
So
move my feet,
yes,
wanna drink my
the
wine.
raising part, but the
Wanna move
true
my feet,
understanding
wanna drink
of
my
what
wine.
it is, it's
Wanna move my
even
feet,
like even with my girls, they're my sweethearts. My boys, I expect them to be men, so I teach them and I speak to them different because I have a different expectation. Now, if depending on my expectation, depending on what my ideal of a woman is how, if I was a single parent, is how I'm going to treat my daughters.
Right.
And that may not be necessarily what a woman would do. You know what I mean? Because they think differently. That's how sometimes we have like a guy that's not all guys. I'm not trying to say stereotype everything. Like some guys that raised in a single parent household and they're with their mother, they may respond differently to things that a male that had his father in his life, how they respond to things. Because because us as men, we may it may be a problem, and we might be like, hey, this is what we're gonna do to fix it. But with a woman, she be like, hold on, let's think about this. Let's hear this out. And you like, hold on, hear this out. He just
wanna
disrespected
move my
me.
feet,
You're not gonna hear that. You don't wanna hear that talking stuff.
wanna move my feet,
Guys don't talk with
wanna
no
drink my
hands.
wine.
But if you raise a young man and you a woman, you gonna be like, you want to time out. A guy be like, okay, yeah, most likely you gonna be like, hey, we gonna throw them hands, but it is times that you gotta know when to walk away.
Right.
It's times we have to fight because it's all about the way we approach. And then you have some of these guys that they may show feminine attributes as in their character because they was raised by
That's the
a
woman.
woman.
That's the
Not
model.
saying that they gay or anything, or they're not. Turn that down, but they're not harder than they can't be hard. But it's certain things because they were raised by a woman. It's certain traits that they gonna pick up on. That's how they gonna respond because that's how they gonna respond.
They're very reactionary.
Yeah, and vice versa.
Right.
With a guy raising a girl, he can teach her to be hard where she don't even know how to really be that soft. You know what I mean? Loving, nurturing personality usually a woman have. You like,
He's just to be
man,
masculine instead of feminine.
yeah,
He may teach to be a soft masculine, but still,
yeah.
He need to have a lot of friends. Like, I need you to hang out with my daughter. I mean, if you don't have the wife at bay, because you need to be balanced out, and vice versa. I know somebody told me that her father taught her everything she knew. I mean, even from the monthly everything, because the mother was always gone, and she was a bit hard, soft but hard. So very methodical, very matter of fact, but then again, still a woman, and but wasn't aggressive. He was just very analytical and cerebral. But you could tell that maybe some, and still was feminine. But if a mother was there, more hands on, and I could tell even at an old age that she kind of resents that, not misses that. But she said, "My father was my everything." Mother lived past the father, but because the father was there, and mom was always doing ministry. And he was doing ministry. I mean, was doing ministry, but then I think we get caught up. Is ministry at a building or is it at home? Home is the first ministry.
Right.
Man and woman. So it's not just woman that's your ministry and man that's your ministry. The home is the first church.
Agree.
But we go do everything else for everybody else, but we don't spend time at home. And so therefore our parishioners, which is our family, go lacking. So therefore don't get the adequate food to go out to the world and to show what they've been taught, because they've been taught nothing, because the pastor and the first lady are never there, which is the mother and the father. So how can I learn from the church, which is the house, if my mother and father are always gone for work or for whatever? It doesn't matter, but if you're never part of my life, how can I receive what you have to impart to me?
Yeah.
And I'm learning from the streets and the hearsay, but you need to be, like I said before, first teacher, first mentor, first coach is your mother and your father. Then they should balance each other out. Some are stronger, some are weak in certain areas. You gotta know what you're weak in. I think that's big. Gotta know what you're weak in. You're stronger. My wife is really good with the schoolwork. I'm not. She's really good with it. That's not me. Yeah. My mother's really good with hands-on help with schoolwork. My father was good with math. But my mother did most of the stuff. She said, "Oh, your daddy's better than me." And he tried. And he was better than her. But she didn't put a lot of weight on that because he was doing other stuff. It's a team. You balance it out. Yeah. I mean, this was good. Let's close out. Yeah. Identity. We need to know who we are and whose we are. And a lot of times we need to reach back or reach it in the house. And keep on, if we're doing right, keep on doing right. If we're doing wrong, we need to look in the mirror and get better. Because I think you can't teach nobody to do better if you're not constantly reflecting and being better. It's a constant work every day. Oh, am I better? Am I better? Because the best teacher is my life. If my life jacked up, everything follows my life gonna be jacked up too. But we die daily. We try to be better. Best versions of ourselves. Understand we are, and have our personas or our mask in perspective. Like I said, I think sad is a person that doesn't realize when they put on different personas. When you don't know when you shift. You have to be. I think you need to be cognizant of the situation, the culture, and the people that you communicate with, so you can be appropriate and adequate, adequately cognizant, of everything that you're doing. I mean, as a man, as a man thinking, so is he. But you have to be there. I think most of the work takes place here and here and here. All right, last words, people.
Jesus Christ is God.
Love, peace, and hair grease.
And
I'm sorry. Y'all don't use grease. Baby oil,
Well, yeah, I use Vaseline.
Vaseline. Oh,
Yeah.
petroleum.
Yeah. Hey, Renee, he know he used that. You know that man. He got that man wig. Come and pull it up. He had the man wig. That tape on top of it. You, you just pay real good money. Got a good looking. Cause you can't tell the difference.
And this all real. This all real.
Yeah, they get real hair. You can get real hair Sally every day.
Now this girl from my scalp through my pores.
It's all right. It's all right. Yeah. You get those too. It got plugs. They still make that still make the scalp so they can pull up. You be looking just like Jamie Foxx. Right there. I said, man, why is it all black?
Now, behind all black. You can see the salt and pepper. Look at, but I'm looking at the camera now. You don't even look like I got a mustache because it's so white.
That's the style too. Some people that they try to separate. I know somebody that they said, listen, I had to keep it mingled. Can't have it all gray. You keep it mingled looking.
If my wife wasn't in the bedroom sleep, I'd grab her and she'd tell you she tries to dye. She wants to dye my hair and I refuse. So it ain't no faking this.
You can't. It's too. When you dye, it's too obvious. It's too obvious. I think if you're gonna die, I think if you did die, it's always best to mingle. I think that's a better look.
I can't say this. The few times I let her in the past some years ago, the gray hair just came back with a vengeance. Like it came back for whiter. And
Sometimes,
more. It was just like baby kids, you know.
they'll die and multiply. Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I like Eddie Murphy. I just pluck it out when I see it. It's not full enough where I'm not gonna do nothing anyway.
If I pluck mine out, I look like a dog with mange. But go ahead and close out.
Okay. All right. They just jumped off.
Yeah.
All right. Now.
All right. Have a good night.
Night, man. Smooth. That's our goal, to help you get unstuck so you can go forward and not get left behind. So this is the Hero's Journey with Dr. D, hoping that I can help you get behind your first move. See you when I see you. We are out.